I've communicated that articulately as well. What type of personal control does a person or business have in 2024? And is that control or lack thereof the end of business as we know it and free trade in the United States of America? I'm acting as my principal and my agent. I've neither given permission. For a successful principal-agent relationship, you have to give your permission legally to the principal as the agent, and the principal has to acknowledge and agree. Agent-principal, two-part relationship. I've neither given my consent nor, requested anyone to act on my behalf as a principal, or to act as a principal in any sort of relationship or dynamic with me. The situation is incredibly frustrating and scary. I need to earn more than to the penny what I need. I need my bank account to be protected. Just like every other United States citizen, the FDIC is supposed to protect our funds. How many months has this been going on in my bank account? 5 years. 5 years. So I need that money back, and I need it back immediately. Why? Because that's the law here. The law here is that you can't just go into someone's house and steal from them. The law is the same way that you can't go into their house and steal from them. You can't go into their bank account and take whatever you want. You can't do it. Now, if I was someone's customer and I was entering into a contract with someone and I said, here's my credit card, here, I'll pay for the service that's rendered when it's time. That's a different story. That's not what's happening here. Pardon me, what's happening here is services have neither been rendered nor requested, and people are disguising their transactions as the transactions of someone I trust and use. Amazon, Starbucks, et cetera, and so forth. So, it's been 5 years. 5 years since I've worked in the capacity of, having any sort of POS system that I have run on my own behalf. I've not had a POS system in 5 years. And 100% when I was doing business, if someone was rendered services and their credit card was on file and they did not pay, they were charged. I was covered under contract. When you make a contract, verbal or written, and services are rendered, in a principal-agent relationship or a consumer, and provider relationship, or a, retail type of environment, or service provider and a customer type of relationship, client relationship. Services rendered result in payment being made. And if you have something called auto pay, or you've set up your credit card to be on file to be charged, it is within the legal rights to charge that credit card. It is not within legal rights to create a fake account posing as an account that, a lot of people know and trust, like Amazon, with a bunch of numbers behind it, and steal $6.99 every week and say that it's for Prime. That's illegal. So all the shit that's going on in my bank account is nothing new, but it definitely makes it absolutely impossible for me to control my own finances. And that is not for a lack of understanding. That is not for negligence. That is not due to, being irresponsible. That is due to someone and multiple groups of authoritative agencies refusing to involve themselves and take action, or involving themselves and taking action without my knowledge. One of those two things. So that's where we're at for today. I've been doing these live videos. I was doing them daily when we were being held unlawfully in the tent when I was pregnant with Weston, and I was calling for housing assistance on a daily basis. I called them FTRs, for the records. And I was giving these updates every single day with regards to what was going on in my bank account and what was going on with my children and what was going on with the petitions that I had filed not being heard. We are in court currently, and I'm not permitted to discuss it, which is incredibly convenient because there's a bunch of illegal shit going on. If you could be a fly on the wall in that courtroom, it is a circus, and I'm representing myself. I do have a backup pro se attorney who handles my filings because I've been blatantly refused access to SharePoint, which doesn't make any sense because the state's evidence is uploaded into SharePoint. And in order for me to defend myself, I need to have open access to that evidence. I've also contacted about 1,000 different lawyers. None of them have returned any of my inquiries, email, phone, etc. I want to press charges against everyone involved. No, let me be clear. I don't want to press charges against anyone. I want to get the fuck away from all of this and live a life that's happy and fun, and opportunity is abundantly flowing, and there's prosperity and peace and good times, and I'm having family, holidays and birthdays, and my children live with me full time. That is what I want. That is what I've always wanted. So, with that being said, I don't want to press charges, but I want my life back. I want my income, my freedom, respect. I want to wake up. I'm a 37-year-old woman with 4 children. I have put a lot of effort, energy, time, and money into society. I've contributed in many, many ways my entire life. I come from a family of people who have contributed. I want to wake up in the morning and not be assaulted or threatened that I have to find somewhere else to live, or separated from my significant other and the father of my son. This is not acceptable by any means. It hasn't been acceptable for many years. So that's another update. Like I've always said, the blockchain exists indefinitely. No one has found a way to erase the blockchain, and I don't think that we will ever. That means that emails that you wrote 10 years ago, we know and we can get them. So whenever anyone tries to hold extortion over someone's head, I always tell them I'm the only unextortionable person you'll probably ever meet in your life. Why? Because I've been public with all of my shit. Every time I fell on my face, I owned it. Every time I stood up tall, I owned that as well. And I've done most of it behind the lens of a camera. So I haven't been doing, for good reason. I haven't been making my mistakes in private. I've been making my mistakes publicly and owning them. Can you say the same? So I haven't given up, obviously. I have several appointments today that I'm not looking forward to just because I feel as though my time would be much better spent earning income, hanging out with my children, taking them, to places, taking them on vacation, experiencing the world with them. I never got to go to Disney World with my kids. I've never gotten to take my children to Six Flags. They've been there, but I've never been the one to be able to take them. I would like to take my kids, to the mall, take them shopping, back to school clothes, decorate their bedrooms, clean the house, cook dinner, prepare some crock pot meals. That's the way I like to live life. Go to the gym, get in a nice workout. That's what I would like to do. That's the life that I built for myself that was taken from me for really no reason, truly no reason. I mean, if we're taking a good objective look at what happened in my existence and along my journey, I definitely, morally and ethically, wasn't the one who should have been taken out of their existence, taken out of their life. My life was very morally and ethically sound, especially when we're comparing, which I don't make it a habit of doing, but the people around me and the people who were saved in my place, it's pretty sick and fucked up. Which is one of the main reasons I support Turning Point USA, because Turning Point USA is one of the only organizations that I've heard of that says, and understand that I've not lived a life that's completely in alignment with all of the understandings and belief systems that Turning Point USA has, which are mostly, for the most part, very not liberal, conservative beliefs. However, it is becoming increasingly difficult to be liberal in the world that we live in. I have found that in the environment I currently live in, I have to work really hard to keep a liberal perspective. Work really hard and intentionally. You know, if we discuss the law of, I don't want to call it infection, we'll call it influence, becoming the fifth five, and etc. I've had to work incredibly hard to stay where I'm at. Not physically, emotionally, and mentally. My belief systems, my morals and values and ethics. It's sick. It's fucked up out here, you guys. You know, these kids are, it's crazy. And then, like I said, something like a light switch turns and everyone is kind and respectful and considerate and courteous, and we clearly have the solution. So why do we keep switching the light switch? You know, why do we keep going back to what's not working? All right, you guys have a great day. Like I said before, will always be on the blockchain. So even if my proof and my truth gets erased, it will always be, there's a software called Time Machine. All Apple products are built with its stock, so I know it exists for all blockchain everything. So that means that anything that anyone did on the internet ever can be found again later. Keep that in mind when you're thinking about generational reputation, and maybe in your lifetime you won't be alive to be punished for the way that you've harmed others, or maybe not even punished, held accountable, questioned. But every single time that they look the other way and allow me to be treated this way, Xavier to be treated this way, someone is going to have to answer for it someday. Maybe not you, maybe it'll be your grandkids, you know? Act right. Our actions are training AI. Our actions are training the softwares that we use. Human behavior is setting the standard.
But nothing cool. See you, Bob Parrish.